Being a black woman is knowing when the fight is not yours. It is letting America pay for her sins and transgressions. We will not save you this time. Tell me what you know about being disqualified for being overqualified. Knowing too much and might do the job too well. Code switching my tongue to standard English just to be micromanaged by someone who calls himself an ally. Feed me propaganda. Greet me with African-American vernacular they learned on TikTok. They say it's the new Gen Z lingo. They have no idea the origin of this breakdance language. We are living in a new era. The descendants of sharecroppers are now the new corporate baddies. Systemic racism, cowards, and envy hate to see all this prosperity on us, so they took back their affirmative action in the name of equality. Fine. Keep your DEI initiatives and programs. Haven't we been here before? I'm not shocked by your inherited ignorance, the colonization in your blood. I come from a lineage of women who marched with swollen feet and pregnant bellies, hunted by the smell of burning flesh in Jim Crow South. We are not new to this unsolicited grief against our bodies. When this truth fully dissolves in my skin, I am a protest waiting to happen at sunset. I know too much about riding at dawn for what you believe in. When copper skin is exalted until it becomes a threat, the vultures will come and try to confiscate our skin, our culture, our charm. Billy, they will give us a national holiday, but there is still strange fruit swinging. Every day we are fighting erasure with permanent ink, writing our stories in the skylines to never be forgotten. My people are here. We have always been here. For most black women, we are somebody's lifeline. Tour guide to enlightenment. We are somebody's mother, mending deprived hearts, holding on to things that don't belong to us, standing on front lines for people who would never march for us. But despite what they say, what we conjure in our bellies is miraculous. Being a black woman is holy. It is the remedy in our touch, the comfort in our laughter. It is finding sunlight in your teeth during the darkest hour in the day. It is the hunger of wanting to live in a world that doesn't love you back. It is trading your armor for roses and resting in all the glory she is made of.
But this is why they're trying to erase our history. Because when you understand our history, you know we done been through worse than this. You mean to tell me you can snatch us from the coast of Africa? You can place us in the bottom of ships? You can sail us over waters? Some of us jumped over, some of us stayed in. We didn't know the language. We could land in a place we had never been in before, didn't know each other, didn't know you, you didn't know us. But then we were able to develop a culture that is envied around the world. We were able to build institutions. We were able to build banks. We were able to build communities. We were able to build churches. We were able to build the White House that man sit in today. He spoke and said, why are you looking for the living amongst the walking dead? Because anytime you can deport a citizen and don't feel nothing, it's because you walking dead. Anytime you can threaten the IRS status of universities because they don't believe what you believe and they let their students exercise their First Amendment right, it's because you walking dead. Anytime you think you can sell Bibles and tennis shoes, sometimes God has to show up and refresh your expectation. Sometimes you have to tell yourself, this is not over. There is more to life than this. We're going to get past this. We're going to live through this. That this is not the worst that we've seen. That there is still better days. Is there anybody that ever had to talk themselves out of some things because the enemy was trying to make you believe it was over? But what I like about the women is they didn't let their trauma create paralysis. Because you do know the purpose of what is going on today is for the purpose of traumatizing us so that we end up paralyzed. You do know what is happening today is designed to make us so fearful that we won't know what to do. We won't act, we won't speak, we won't gather, we won't celebrate. But I need somebody who in deep East Oakland, not regular East Oakland, deep East Oakland, who know that when you from down here, you're not scared of nothing and nobody. I need a few people to understand that I'm not gonna let from a White House or anybody living in my house to keep me from being a witness on behalf of God. The Bible says.
This poem is inspired by a Facebook post where I asked black people, if you could write a letter to white people, what would you say? Dear white people, I don't even know where to start. In between my busy schedule comprised entirely of surviving white America, there is simply no time to write letters. Besides, any letter I write will most likely bring tears to your eyes, and I, for one, have had my fill of white tears. There are days I think you aren't worth my ink, that your whiteness is draining me of too much energy. Can't give you a taste of the tea for fear you'll colonize the whole kitchen. But today, I am too angry to remain silent. Dear white people, stop making everything about you and how uncomfortable you are. I honestly don't give a flying fuck about your comfort level. You have made my very existence an exercise in discomfort. It is time for you to make room at the table. Better yet, go sit in the living room. I am not here to coddle your feelings, not here for your amusement. No, you cannot touch my hair. This isn't a damn petting zoo. And stop coming into my office asking for the managers if you aren't already looking at one. Dear white people, stop telling me about this colorblind society you allegedly live in. Telling me you don't see race is the racist drivel I hope you choke on. Telling me you respect me but don't see my color is like saying you have to pretend I'm not black in order to respect me. But let me assure you, I am black, though there are plenty of things I'm not, like your sassy black friend. Stop saying, hey girl, when you see me. You ain't that slick. I hear the way you talk to Becky and Steve every day. You sound like Vacation on Martha's Vineyard, where you spent summers waiting in the bitter blue of the Atlantic. How I wish my toes could touch the ocean without stepping on the bones of my ancestors. Dear white teachers, why don't I know who my ancestors are? Why is only one part of my history important enough to teach? And for the love of God, stop swiveling your heads every time slavery is mentioned. Newsflash, I wasn't there. And just because I'm the only black person in this class doesn't mean you can ask me to speak on behalf of my race. I believe you really care about the opinion of black students when you stop shutting down conversations because I call a white student racist. Dear white people, why do you hate being called racist more than you hate racism? Why do you listen to Tim Wise over actual black people about the black experience? Dear white people, stop using black on black crime as a reason we shouldn't be outraged by the murder of black people by white cops. If a black person kills a black person, they will go to jail, and that is what we call justice. If a white cop kills a black person, they will get paid leave, and that is what we call justice. Apparently, justice is when a black body dies. Dear white people, every time we've written white people, we've written it in lowercase because we are tired of you capitalizing on our pain. We are angry and raw and tired and angry and raw and tired and tired and tired, but we will not rest because we know the future belongs to those who prepare for it. And you have been getting us ready for centuries.
Ariana, are you still hungry?
I could eat.
Well then, let's cook. There is love deep within the word food. My mom says,
if you eat good, you'll feel good.
that food is the ultimate mediator, and no meal can beat gumbo.
Can beat hot pot.
It's a one-pot dish that comes together when people come together.
It's not just soup.
It's soul, and my soul longs to know if I can
eats my way.
beats my way through history. To make the food that is up in your bowl, we look for herbs deep within the ground. For our roots were ruined the pickings of slavery. We prepare seafood because my people have spent so much time crossing the sea, it starts to feel like home.
Do you smell the onion, the garlic, the bay leaf? The meal is coming together. We add noodles, thinly sliced meats, piles of mushrooms and leafy greens. Communal cooking is a symphony, and we use chopsticks to direct the movements. My people have been doing this for centuries. Gathering at this watering hole, reuniting with family. We mix and match and take in place to make sure that everyone eats.
In my house, it's to sitting another plate before everyone has had their first serving.
Cooking is our community, and I want to cook like my grandma, but she doesn't use any recipes.
Recipes are for replication.
And repetition means nothing to people who have only experienced inconsistency from the law. As immigrants,
As enslaved, my ancestors received the receipts of other people's meals, telling them that this is what we must pay to keep America satisfied.
over generations, Over generations, we've been forced to find the right flavors for America's palates to be the dish that everyone likes.
Because America doesn't see one pot and think of a meal to be shared.
No, America sees one pot and thinks homogenized.
Thinks assimilate. Thinks that's too spicy. Thinks water it down. But
hot pot requires love.
The most basic secret ingredient that is hard to find here.
Stores won't stock what is not in demand.
Instead, they stockpile chemicals, preservatives, and dyes.
We demand you see beyond the artificial food, that artificial community.
Listen to our hearts so you can measure with yours, because family is who you share your meals with, and community is who will risk the curse, the wrong, the craft, the tears, the scrapes to put food on your plate. It might be paid for the stomach, the weight of the past,
to set the table for future generations.
but my family sits in the presence. When they say I love you, it sounds like,
Nichir Lama, have you eaten yet? It sounds like,
baby, you know there's food in the kitchen.
there are things that recipe books can't imitate.
Because no one pot is the same. No one poet is the same. Watch how we melt together. And while they may taste different,
Gumbo
hot pot conjures memories, carries struggles, captures love. Now, Ariana, are you still hungry?
Nah, we ate.
On June 17th, 2015, Dylan Ruff walked into a midweek Bible study. He sat and prayed with the church members before pulling out his gun, killing most, and allowing one to live. After the incident, he was found and arrested, peacefully. When Dylan Ruff killed 9 innocent black people, we did not question his God. He wore flags of apartheid Africa. We did not question his allegiance. He committed the crime alone. We did not question his people. When Adam Lanza shot a classroom full of first graders at Sandy Hook Elementary, we did not ask him to leave the country. When Timothy McVeigh killed 168 people in Oklahoma, we did not call this a crime against every American. When the KKK killed thousands of black people while swearing to uphold Christian morality, we did not ask them to remove their robes. We did not call all Christians bigots. Do you see it? How we don't label all white men based on the sins of a few. Do you see it? How we don't have to condemn a whole class of people based on the actions of some. Do you see it? How all the names are different. How all the faces are different. How all the people are different. Therefore, we should not condemn all Muslims for the radicalism of a group. If you want to persecute ISIS, go ahead. But to persecute ISIS is to persecute those that gave them power. To persecute those that gave them power is to persecute the U.S. government. Do your research. Islam is not synonymous with terror. It is literally submission. It is devotion. It is peace. Terrorism is actually forbidden, and jihad does not mean holy war. It means struggle. It means survival. It means standing face to face with everything that wants to put you in the ground and choosing to be alive. Do your research and stop listening to CNN. Stop trading humanity for hypocrisy. Stop staring at Muslims in the airport. Stop letting your fear drag you into ignorance. Stop supporting billionaire Republicans who want to scare you into murdering the innocent, and start supporting leaders who speak peace in their native tongue. Instead of burning down the mosque, burn down the walls around the pulsating muscle in your chest and realize that we all have one. And lastly, as the customary greeting goes, Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. Wa alaikum assalam, and upon you be peace. Do you see it?
We pledge allegiance to your flag of the United States of America and to your republic, for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for who? For you? For some? Not for us. Not for our people. So please stop saying we equal with your flag of red, white, and blue in one hand. You beat us. Until we're black and blue with the other beat us. Until we're none beat us. Until we can't walk straight, then you put us in chains if we lucky. But for the ones of us who aren't so lucky, you tell us to put our hands up as some type of sick tribute to your privilege. And then you pull the trigger into our bodies laid down on your ground. Pull the trigger until your clip is empty. Pull the trigger until we make your evening news. And then when our children cry, we have to look our children in the eyes and tell them that they have to be cautious.
I take your race away. And there you are, all strung out. And all you got is your little self. And what is that? What are you without racism? Are you any good? Are you still strong? You still smart? You still like yourself? I mean, these are the questions. It's part of it is, yes, the victim, how terrible it has been for black people.
But you don't like that.
I'm not a victim. I refuse to be one.
And the victim is the other person who is morally inferior and
that's
who
that's a
has
serious
to hold
question.
on to
of course.
Racism
if you have
somehow
to hold
for his or her own self-esteem and definition.
If you can only be tall because somebody's on their knees, then you have a serious problem. And my feeling is white people have a very, very serious problem. And they should start thinking about what they can do about it. Take me out of it.
We learned your French. Okay. We learned your English, we learned your Spanish, we learned your Dutch, your Portuguese, your German. You learned our nothing. You called us stupid. That's white privilege.